The Novocastrians never disappoint us when it comes to supporting their football team. They're out here in force again tonight as the locals, the Newcastle Knights, play host to the St George Illawarra Dragons. The Knights come into this game in 6th position on 16 points, and they'll be out for a win tonight. At fullback, and no Robbie O'Davis tonight. He's out with a knee injury. Mark Hughes slots back into that position. On the wings, Tamana Tahu and Adam McDougall returns for the Newcastle Knights. In the centres, Matt Gidley and Quinn. The 5'8" will be Kurt Gidley and the New South Wales captain Andrew Johns. In the back row for the Knights, Kennedy, Rudder and Abraham. The front row, Perry. Quigley's going to start at hooker and Jobson is the other man up front. On the bench, Danny Badiris will come into the game a little bit later. Newton is there with him, and the other two are made up with Woolnough and Price. They are coached by Michael Hagan. At fullback for them will be Reece Simmons. Blacklock back on the wing there for them. Wilshire, the other winger. Kite and Cooper in the centres. The 5'8" will be Hornby, Furman, the halfback. The back rowers are Cross, Bailey and Lance Thompson, the captain. In the front row, Pongia, his first NRL game for a couple of seasons. Dean Young and Jason Riles backing up from Wednesday night. On the bench is Byrne, Stapleton, and the other two interchange players, Riddell and Perinara.
The famous red and whites. They kick off, they're running left to right. And it is Newcastle with first years of the football. The Dragons wearing black armbands in memory of Ronnie Roberts. I'll talk a little bit more about him during the telecast as we watch play number 2. A little bit of a forearm there across the throat of Josh Perry. He wasn't all that impressed with the aggressor. And in fact, it was John Wilshire playing over on the left side. Is Jobson. And another of the wounds that we saw on Wednesday night being translated onto Energy Australia Stadium tonight. We've come from the cauldron of Suncorp to the Coliseum of Newcastle as it goes to Johns, and he puts this kick in. We'll go to Andrew in a moment, see if there's any breeze factor. Doesn't feel too bad. Nathan Blacklock. More than 100 tries at NRL level. 3 times in a row he was the leading try scorer in the competition.
First touch, a little slip there, but interesting to note, Josh Perry, 2 hit-ups in that first set of 6 for the Knights. He's backed up from Origin. That's the way to do it after Origin. Just rip and tear for as long as you can, because if you feel as though you just want to ease your way into the game, all of a sudden the game's left you right behind. So that's a good start by Perry.
Riles is with the ball. They're going to need super games from Riles, Bailey and this man Thompson if they're to have any hope in this match tonight. That seems to be the general opinion. Just beyond the 30-metre line. Dragons kicking off the boot of young Furman. And it goes down to Tamana Tahu. Tamana tries to free himself from the tackle of John Cross. The 13 hangs in there with some help from Bailey and also Riles. Andrew sideline. Any breeze factor? Oh, there's a St George player face down, Lance Thompson. I'll come to you in a moment. Here's Hughes coming away with the ball for Newcastle.
Yeah, he copped a heavy knock from a Matt Gidley charge. Might have been Kurt Gidley. Yeah, it was Matt, and a head clash there, and Lance down on the deck. But he's pretty tough, very, very resilient. He'll be back.
Thompson still receiving attention. Andrew, let's go to you now.
Yeah, just a slight breeze at the backs of Newcastle for this first 40 minutes. Look, it is a cool night, but certainly not too uncomfortable for the supporters that have come along here, and a good crowd it is too. And the Dragons should certainly be fresh for this one. Not only are they coming off the bye, I understand they were given a week off after that most disappointing performance against the Cowboys.
John's finding the line. 35 away from the opposition line, Daniel Abraham. And significantly, he's met there by Lance Thompson. Straight back into the action, testing the jaw out. Perry. And that's Quentin Pongia in the tackle. Welcome home, Quentin. He's been one of the toughest men in our game for the last decade or so. Johns puts a kick and it comes off one of his own teammates. I fancy it might have been a Dragon, but it's with Thompson, so it's play on. And he is sick.
Yeah, he hasn't recovered at all from that head clash earlier. The referee just coming in to check him before he gets up to play the ball. Interesting there, Andrew Johns looking for a kick early in the tackle count behind this St George Illawarra line. The Dragons have resorted to a very aggressive up and in defence this year. And Johns wanting them to turn them around early.
Well, no wonder he's crook.
He got a load big
Just
pardon
watch
there,
this
did
from
he?
Josh Perry. It's a forearm to the back of his head.
Then he adds a bit more compression to it as well. Perry's gone on report for coming over the top of Thompson, coming down on the back of his head. He made a tackle prior to that, Thompson, and you heard me say that I thought he was okay, and then it seemingly was premature for me to say that, but then I didn't realise that Perry had come down with, in the old terminology, as a rabbit killer or one of those sort of things. Here's Riles now. He's out to the 40-metre line. Oh, gee, some of these blokes must be feeling some pain, feeling some bruising. The Dragons with almost an unrecognisable three-quarter line. Here's Pongi up to the halfway line, centre ground. 0-0. Dragons versus Knights, and the Knights would have been reminded by Michael Hagan of their record recently against the Dragons. Gasnier, Barrett, Roberts, Timmins out of the game. Thompson making a break. Furman's with him. Oh, the ball goes to one of the Knights. It goes back to the Dragons. Oh, and all they wanted was a good pass, and Blacklock would have been in.
Oh, well, they had two chances to score there and messed up both of them. Great ball from Lance Thompson to Furman, and he's away. He's got support. The flick pass just went horribly wrong. Looking for Simmons. Another chance here. He gets a second crack at it and throws a 50-metre pass to no one. Blacklock in the clear.
Wouldn't that have been a dream start for the star Dragons winger, who of course left our game, went to rugby. That didn't work out. Now he's back probably in the jumper that he belongs in. That's good defence by the Dragons. Kite, the centre, was prominent in that exchange with Simmons. Kennedy passed. I'm not quite sure why he did. He was under extreme pressure. And then Kurt Gidley has tried to bat it back. This is going to be a little opportunity for the Dragons.
Yeah, just wondering where the knock-on was here. Kennedy pops the ball back, comes off his chin. Gidley tries to rake it back. I don't know, I would have thought that was nearly fair. But he's ruled a knock-on and a good chance for the Dragons.
So it's Furman away for Cooper, the number 4. Tasted some representative football in City Origin, Country Origin earlier at Gosford. Here's Big Bailey now. He really played out of his skin on Wednesday night, Luke. And then away it goes from Young. It's gone out for the number 1. That's Hornby playing at 5'8". Long ball away now for Furman. He goes inside the 10. He turns it back for Quentin Pongia. And Quentin still 10 metres away from the line as they put the kick across the ground. Blacklock's in a jump, in a contest. He's won it. He's won the jump over McDougall. Well, what a fantastic start it's been for Nathan Blacklock. It could have been 2 tries in a couple of minutes, and these 2 Warriors returning tonight, they've gone up like Kazali, and Blacklock has come down with the ball.
Yeah, as we freeze it there, that's Furman. Here's Blacklock out here. That's McDougall. And what we're looking for is the kick that goes up and over the top, and McDougall will be out-jumped by Blacklock in the end goal as play continues.
Yeah, it was a great leap, wasn't it, by Blacklock?
And now the halfback Furman from 10 in from touch. It's hooking. Is it going to stay there? Yes, it's on the line. Converted by Furman. There's a wonderful duet sitting out there having the time of their lives at the moment. Well done, Nathan. Welcome back to Rugby League. Andrew Sideline.
Yeah, aren't we in for a good night? Nathan Blacklock up against Adam McDougall. I can tell you just a little bit of inside information on Nathan Blacklock from some of the insiders at the Dragons Club, that they think it's a new and improved Nathan Blacklock off the field, that he's going to listen to the coach, that he's changed his preparation for matches. So it'll be a little different, perhaps not as flamboyant off the field as he was before. He's really going to knuckle down and get the job done.
Here's Simmons. Not much of him. He was able to get underneath the armpit of one of those Newcastle forwards. Now cross 12 from halfway with a 6-0 lead on the board in favour of the Dragons. Will this hex that the Dragons have got on the Knights here continue? Furman, his kick will land down 15 out, bouncing inside 10, taken in by Tamana. And he's met and collared by the defence 12 away from his own line.
There's always been a lot of feeling between these two clubs. In fact, legend has it that former Newcastle Knights front rower Anthony Butterfield once called his team together in the dressing room before the game and said there's always been ill feeling between these two clubs, a lot of animosity. and it's always been very, very fiery. Let's keep it going.
Kennedy.
Who started that rumour?
And then Abraham Johns with a catch and pass. This is Anthony Quinn down the left side.
You dead set toss that up.
Tony Butterfield. It's a true story.
Oh, Penrith boy, why wouldn't it be the truth? They don't tell lies out there. Here's McDougall. Quigley is the dummy half. Johns puts this kick down towards... Oh, the St George winger. He's batted it back in. He's been ruled into touch. This will make interesting viewing, this.
John Wilshere. Referee saying he put his foot on the line. He touches it there. He throws it back. Well, there's no way in the world.
That's exactly what I was alluding to. He's landed on the line, but he was in the field of play when he deflected the ball back into the field of play.
No doubt about it.
And the touch judge must have been probably 40 metres away when he made that call.
The ball's been deflected before the boot actually lands on the ground.
That's a bad blow for the Dragons.
Anyway, the Knights will take advantage of it. They may even come back and hurt them in the worst possible way. This is Kurt Gidley. They're going to hurt them all right. Quinn goes in to score. Wide out on the western side.
Yeah, nice bit of play there by the Knights. Straight from the scrum base, they moved the ball wide. Here's was how they got the ball. We think that should have been play on, but the scrum went here to the Knights. The ball will come wide. Out to McDougall. McDougall will do a little bit of an in and away on his man. Release himself from the tackle, unload the ball, and now as he comes around the outside, as we freeze it there, this is the try scorer. This player here has been forced to come in to make a tackle, and as play continues, he'll scoot around the outside, get the overlap, and race in to score a try. Good work there from the scrum base by the Knights.
Yeah, good work by McDougall as well, wasn't it? And Brent Kite, the number 11, normally a second row, playing in the centres. He thought that tackle had been completed. He raced back, took himself out of the play. By the time he turned around, he had two players coming at him, hence the overlap. And well finished off there by Quinn, but it goes back to that decision by the touch judge. Here's Johns.
Johns from 20 out. He's hooked it a little bit, but it's there. So both kickers on line with their first attempts. Quigley in 16. In the place of Badeiras, who's over on the bench. Intercept was invited there, but it's been batted forward by Matt Gidley.
That's a bit.
It'll be a score.
Yeah, a bit of a waste there, but had a chance there. Matt Gidley tried the old Mick Cronin tap on, but it went fairly forward.
And Andrew Johns' 200 games commemorative t-shirt available at merchandise outlet.
So a chance goes begging for the Knights.
There's no doubt, Fatty, the halfback's going to take them on, isn't he? The long passes that we've seen and his increased involvement, he senses that they can blow a few tries past his Dragons defence early in the game.
Yeah, the more Andrew Johns has got the ball in his hands, the more he takes the line on, the more dangerous not only he but the whole Newcastle team. And that last set of 6 where he involved himself in every tackle was just incredible.
Played by Kite. Here's Thompson now, going up the middle to the 30-metre line. Thompson seems as though he's okay again now, as Riles is met by the Newcastle defence of Perry and Quinn, who got the try for them. It is 6 points all in Friday night football. Pongia, good to see him back. He's always been amongst the toughest to play the game, repped New Zealand at the highest level. And this kick from Furman is going over. It's bounced badly for Tamana Tahu. Swooped upon by Cooper. Fed back on the inside. Picked up by Newcastle. Tamana Tahu's with the ball. And he's met by Furman and pulled down with the help of Dean Young. Here's Quigley now. He knows that they are at 6s and 7s there, organising their defence line. He tries to break it. He plays it on 40. Jobson takes the ball away from dummy half. And he will be forced to play the ball as they pick him up and
that is
javelin him into the ground.
Absolutely.
Are you the base of the ground? Watch NBA News on Monday night.
Let's go down and have a listen to this.
Right, you left it, mate. Your hands there, and it's come down. Bit dangerous, right? Keep him down, right?
There's no sign of it going on. Report. It all happened pretty close to ground level. And Johns finding the line to put the Knights firmly back on the attack. Now let's watch his involvement in this set. He might let somebody else do some work here. Jobson will play the ball on 1. Johns is over on the blind side. Quigley goes open side. And Kurt Gidley's got the ball. And he's taken down by Thompson. Young, Simmons or Hornby in one. Now that pass was suspect. Johns is involved. Perry's involved. Perry's gone through. Pulled down 8 metres away from the line. Play back for Quigley. Here they come in numbers. Kurt Gidley bounces away. Not Hill. Now he will be made to play the ball. They pick him up and put him down. Brent Kite in the main, number 11. Then from Quigley. They come up quickly. Johns. Oh, beautiful little ball. It's gone away from Mark Hughes. It's gone back to Jobson. Jobson will be playing the ball inside the 20-metre line. Play back to Mark Hughes, who's playing fullback in place of Robbie O'Davis. There's the kick from Johns, and well read by the fullback Simmons. But they're playing beautifully.
Wasn't that a delightful pass there from Andrew Johns? The players rushed up on him from the defence line, and he holds it up to a player that he couldn't see coming in from behind. That's the combination that these Knights players have had over the years. Beautifully done.
Thompson plays it now. Bailey. There's the number 14 for the Dragons. Craig Stapleton prepares to come into the game. This is Jason Riles. The only thing that might be a bit of a worry for Newcastle is that they've thrown plenty at them. St George is still level with them on the scoreboard, and Johns has used just about every ace in the pack. Mark Hughes will play this ball. And it's Adam McDougall with the ball this time. He's put away on the 20 at the wrong end of the park for Newcastle. Quinn showed a lot of speed in scoring that try. The try that levelled. Now here's Matt Gidley playing 150 first-grade games for the Knights tonight. He joins an elite group. I think there's only 8 players have reached 150 for Newcastle. This is Rudder. Matt joined them in 1996 as an 18-year-old. And in fact is the 8th Knights player to reach 150. Johns puts the kick down towards the fullback Simmons, who backs off the accelerator and leaves it with Blacklock. Great start for Nathan. Look out, he's running crabwise. They'll pick him off. No, he's able to beat the 3 of them, really. And he's up and going again, Nathan Blacklock. Seen that somewhere else before, haven't we? Bit of deja vu from Blacklock. Now Stapleton. 6 all, and don't forget we're looking for Gus Gould's most valuable player. $1,000 from Nutrigrain to be won. And there's the SMS number. We want the full name of the player, 0428 123 999. Entries close midday tomorrow, and the winner will be announced on the Sunday version of the football show. Played on the 40-metre line by the Dragons. It's gone to Furman, who did very, very well. And now he's gone through the gap. Furman's got one to beat. He unloads the ball. They won't catch Cooper. Cooper riding away from them, and he gets the 3rd try of the night.
Put this down to a little bit of tired defence. The Newcastle Knights have run themselves ragged in the last 10 minutes with attacking football. And now it came to a little bloke, Furman, who just gets off the left foot with a step, grinds his way into the line. They take him a little bit lightly, and he'll pull his way out the other side. Jobson gets a miss. Rudder can't get a handle on him, and away he goes. Now it's just a matter of finding the right player at the right time. Cooper looms up outside Gidley. The pass is accurate, gets him on the chest. Gidley dives. But Matt Cooper's able to race away and score a good try for the Dragons, and pretty good because they had to defend for a while there before getting good possession.
Good player, Brett Furman. He's got better as the season's gone on. His first year in first grade. And to get through those 2 boppers there was good work. Ran strongly at the line, took them on. And the timing of the pass was just beautiful because he had Gidley in between him and his partner there in Cooper. And it was just gorgeous pass, and then beautiful. Cooper out wide.
So almost in front. Furman should get this, and he kicks it away to the northern end, or the southern end I should say. It has been converted, the try by Matt Cooper, and the scoreboard is 12-6, St George Illawarra leading. 6-5 the errors. St George on top of that count, the count that you don't want to be on top of. 20-metre line, and the ball played back there by Simmons, and this is Wilshire. Dean Young in the 9. He made his debut run on tonight. Stapleton. Now for Thompson, who's had this rather inauspicious opening to the game. Taken high in the tackle. And that tackle's been placed on report. Not so much taken high, but Coming down on top of him from behind was Josh Perry. He'll be viewed on report later on. Here's McDougall talking of inauspicious debuts or returns to the game. He was out-jumped by Blacklock in a wonderful display when St George got their first try. Here is Clint Newton on now.
And great confidence shown by their coaches. I mean, these two wingers have been out of the game for a long time, but they've brought them back into first grade after limited preparation, so they obviously rate their ability.
Dearest away for Sean Rudder to go down the ground. Adam Woolnough was in between them in that passing raid. Here is Johns. He puts it off the outside edge, keeps it on the ground. Blacklock's got work to do. 3 Knights are there and Blacklock submits. Takes the comfort of the dead ball line.
Yeah, it's a nice little play by Badiris and Johns on the previous play too. Working play up the middle of the field. As I said, they've been playing wide for most of the game. Badiris gets on and all of a sudden the combination with Johns is there. He puts it into the in goal. Blacklock will pick it up. You'll see a wall of Newcastle defenders in front of him and think, nah, I'll go this way.
16. Mark Riddell is about to be brought into the game by Coach Nathan Brown. This is a wonderful drop kick. It's gone 55 metres on the fly. And Clint Newton is taking it back. They meet him and put him away. 3 of them combining as he ran into the brick wall of defence. This is Woolnough. 15 into Dragons territory. 12-6 the Dragons leading. Badiris combining with Abraham. He will. There's a penalty. Stapleton for the flop. 2 in the tackle, and then Stapleton decided to put his frame on top of it. Now Kurt Gidley tries to prise into an opening. The ball is loose, and Johns and Gidley are appealing for a penalty. I think Yvonne Hampstead has already ordered that a scrum will go down.
They are sponsored by your live sports station, 11:43.
I think the impact of the tackle, the sheer weight of the tackle was too much for Kurt Gidley.
Yeah. Well, he can put his head in. Doesn't put his head in.
Simmons. Amos Roberts, of course, missing from this team. Trent Barrett missing from the team. Sean Timmins unavailable. Mark Gasnier unavailable. It's a fair amount of talent to have missing, isn't it? Riles, ball lost, dived on by Newcastle. And Kurt Gidley is with the ball. He's been told to play it. Furman wanted to contest it. Now it's with Matt Gidley. Tahu is lurking. That's a knock on by Badiris.
There's a few dusty passes happening out there. Not much patience being shown with the football. Riles tried to pop one, an impossible ball out, which went to deck, and then Gidley threw one, and Badiris not expecting it, and the ball went forward.
Phoenix Sports has a sensational new showroom open every Friday and Saturday.
Just might pinch this moment to say that I travelled home with the New South Wales side on Wednesday, and their behaviour was exemplary, their dress, their presentation was exemplary. And I think we should highlight those things when they do happen, because we only seem to read about the bad things that they do, but they were beautifully presented and they behaved well. Why wouldn't they, I suppose, is the question you're asking. Now it's away with Dean Young. 5 metres into Newcastle's half of play. Blacklock is with it. Now it is Bailey. And Bailey goes inside the 40-metre line, does better than that. The ball. Now that is a steal. There's a penalty. And the captain is the offender. And this will be another penalty. They were inside the 10, so the Dragons will take the kick.
Yep, thought they should have taken the kick the first time they got the penalty. They were only 30 metres out. But Luke Bailey, who's having a fine match again, following up from his big game 2 nights ago, and that ball stripped there by Andrew Johns. He was on a roll, so he took it forward, got him another penalty 10 metres closer.
And he won the series for Australia against Great Britain in 1950 with a last-minute try. Rest in peace, Ronnie Roberts, one of the greats of the past. They go for the 2 points, and they've been rewarded. So the scoreboard changes again in favour of the visitors. St George Illawarra 14, Newcastle Knights 6 at Energy Australia Stadium.
Out to Quinn. Quinn had to get it to him and he rushed his kick. Had he got it the first time, he really could have put some pressure on Wilshire there with a good crossfield bomb. It just didn't happen for him.
35 metres out from their own line now. Furman going behind a decoy to pick up Hornby. This is team number 6, Newcastle, tonight against St George Illawarra, down on the 11th position in the ladder. But as I said, if they win tonight, they can go up to as high as number 7. Perry's about to come back into the game as the Dragons, through Riddell, make some headway. There's the standings. St George really can make a big leap if they can win this game. At the moment, they're looking as though they might be going to win it too. Andrew Voss, sideline.
Yeah, just a little more about the man on screen, Brett Furman. It is a good story over the past 12 months. He has sought the advice of Andrew Johns. I think Matthew Johns set up the lines of communication when Brett and Matthew were playing together at the Sharks last year. And to his credit, Andrew came forward with a few pointers for the young halfback. And I think that probably makes a difference. A young halfback coming up against Andrew Johns in Newcastle has every reason to feel nervous. But perhaps Brett Furman's a little more relaxed than some other players might be, just by the fact that he has built up some sort of relationship with the Newcastle number 7.
Lock in. Locks in. Find them.
Andrew appealing for the ball to be given to him much more quickly than it was. Quite surprised at the zip with which he's playing. You'd never know, would you, that he was so dominating there on Wednesday night. Kennedy.
When he's in this frame of mind, when he plays as energetically as this, the Newcastle Knights very rarely get beaten, even though they're 8 points behind on the scoreboard. I'm sitting here personally expecting Newcastle to still win this game.
They won 4 of their last 5 on home soil. And here's Kennedy again trying the impossible. And he's ruled there's been a rake in the tackle. There were 3 in the tackle.
Yeah, there were 3 in the tackle, but look to me as though Ben Kennedy was trying to offload that football.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it was. And Brett Furman was halfway away down the touchline. That's a bad call.
And I don't think it was a referee's call. I think it came from a touch judge. And that being the case, it was totally on his blind side. It must have been on his blind side because it was on our open side. I think Hampstead got the shock of his life when he got the call. 38 metres out from the line. Jobson will play it. He's hurt, Jobson. Here's Perry. And there's a couple of calls that have gone. There's Jobson. A couple of calls have gone the way of Newcastle that shouldn't have gone their way, including the try that Newcastle got. Johns for Hughes. You're just inside 30. 36 minutes gone in the game as Badeiras gives it to Kurt Gidley. Back for Ben Kennedy. Kennedy tackled. 5 metres out from the line. Still not held. Now he's put down. Kennedy plays it back. It's gone from Badeiras. It's over for Johns. And Johns goes back to Perry. Perry then tries to circle them. Stapleton can't get him. And now they pull him down. Perry 5 metres away from the line on tackle 5. Badeiras. Here's Johns, and look at that pass, bullet-like. Kurt Gidley, the ball has gone forward from him, I fancy, and it's kept on the boot. But I think they'll go back to the foot. No, they're going out to the 20-metre line.
Another chance goes begging. They had plenty of space on the right-hand side there. Andrew Johns found it. In the end, the ball was just on the deck. There was blokes getting knocked down. They were trying to tow it forward, hit the corner post, back to the 20. So the Dragons survive once again.
Wilshere. Inside 3 minutes. Stapleton. Well, they all had a go. They all went high, and eventually he ran away from them. Plays it right in the centre of the park. Now Riddell. Through to Bailey. Bailey met by Johns and Clint Newton. There's Jobson coming off. He's done an arm or maybe a shoulder. Here is Riddell now. 9 into Knights territory, and they get the penalty practically on half-time. Go for touch. I don't know that they would have a kicker.
I'm not sure they would go for goal. Riddell's got a pretty strong boot on him, but they decided to kick for touch, and now they're only, what, 15 metres out?
Okay. So Furman it was who went for the touch line. Coach Fortin thinks they've gone the wrong way. 10 metres away from the line. Played by John Cross. Here's Luke Bailey. Bailey runs around Perry. Looks at the line. Menacingly. He's pulled down, though. Riddell waits. He might have a dig. No, he goes back to a back line, a half-back that was deep anyway, and Dean Young is tackled. Furman calling the play, calling the shots, barking to his dummy half. I want the ball. He's got the ball. Now he puts the kick in. Here's another chance for Blacklock. Oh, Nathan Blacklock has got his second try. What a comeback for Blacklock.
Never in doubt. Right decision made by the Dragons team. Well done. And that's a very good half-time lead. Look at this man, Luke Bailey. How does he do it? Amazing work rate in the first half.
And Riddell comes in from 5 in from touch, but he spoils it. So we're going to head off to the half-time break. They're having a jolly good time, these two fellas. And we see the half-time scoreboard at 18-6. St George in front of Newcastle.
Steel Blue are the most comfortable work boots you'll ever wear. But don't take our word for it, take Cruise's.
Bro, I wear mine to walk the dog, they're so nice.
And you're even nicer, Cruise with a K. Steel Blue, established in comfort.
I'm a country kid.
Dyson Daniels from Bendigo, Australia.
We grew up a long way away from the NBA. You make it to the league, you know who the Aussies are out there on the floor. We got this underdog mentality that stands out until
gets dropped.
It's really challenging from the outside of your lane.
Like, what does that do to a player's confidence?
that's when you got to introduce yourself. My name is Dyson, and this is the NBA on Disney+. Stream big.
Go for a rewarding career as a police security officer. Go for getting paid while getting trained. Go for the outdoors and the indoors. Go for where no 2 days are ever the same. Go for the love of screen time, airtime, and time with the community. So what are you waiting for? Go for PSO. Search Achieve More to apply today.
Tell us about your weight loss journey.
I'm 29 years old. I've lost 43 kilos. I've kept the weight off for a year and a half now. When I found Juniper, I think I was ready to fully change my life. Feeling the way I do now, it's actually mind-blowing.
Game from every team. 100% NFL, 0% compromise. Sign up now.
The swim challenge for sick kids this February. Every kilometre you swim brings happiness to kids and families who need it most. Join now at superswim.org.au.
League, the place to be. They've absolutely dialed it up here. Get around, kids! This is rugby league. Brisbane are the premiers. Oh my goodness! We have seen it all, and now we're seeing even more. So it's Newcastle. They're heading off down towards the southern end with this kickoff. And a knock-on for the Dragons. The fullback Simmons has put it down. Players from all over the park running to the number 18 fullback. And slapping him on the back, trying to pick him up. It'll hurt more if Newcastle can score off this try. Off this scrum, I should say. Here's Kurt Gidley. 20-yard. The dearest for Johns. Johns for Kennedy. If he's been guilty of anything tonight, Ben, it's been trying to push the pass that wasn't quite necessary or even on. We'll know. 9 out. Almost down the centre. Badiris has got a call from Johns, but it's a decoy call, and Perry goes back to where the ball was played. Almost, you might say, a wasted tackle. They went nowhere. They go through the same motions again. Johns is to the open side. There's Hughes running off his right hip. And the fifth tackle is gone for the Knights. Now it's with Johns. Takes them on! Takes them on! Plummets over the line. Does he get the ball down? Hampstead will want to have a look at it. Let's have a look at the face of Andrew Johns. And he's confident that he's got himself a try.
Confident or poker-faced? We'll soon find out. He goes across on his back, pulls the arm down. Well, you've got to give him benefit of the doubt there, I would say. You think, Fatty?
Yeah, well, there's hands everywhere, all over the place there. You would think that some part of the football, with his momentum, has touched the grass.
Well, I'll bow to the greater knowledge of both of you.
Oh, it's not even that.
There's the green light.
No, he ran. Used his strength and his step, got across the line.
Here he is. I think he's missed it. He has. He doesn't miss them very often. 18-10 then is the score. 3 minutes down, second half, Andrew.
Just how good is he going, Andrew Johns? Look, I can tell you what was said in the rooms at half-time from Michael Hagan, a rather salient point. He said, we're playing touch football and they're not. That was the message to his players. The bad news for Newcastle at half-time is we see the misconversion again, just scraping the upright of Andrew Johns. Matt Jobson, partial dislocation of the left shoulder in that first half, so highly unlikely that he'll return for this second half. And very briefly from Nathan Brown, defence is going to win us the game tonight. He was really happy with the way they had made the most of their opportunities in that first half. Just a few visits to the Knights 20 and coming up with a couple of tries.
Here's Johns involving himself in taking the ball away from the 20-metre zone, not frightened to take it out himself on occasions like that. He knows he's got some other players around him that also played last Wednesday night, and they're probably feeling tired. Newton will play the ball 35 metres out from his own line. Back to Badiris and then for Woolnough. And Woolnough had one runner with him, and again it was Johns. He'll play the ball a few metres from the halfway line to the short side for the captain to go to the air, and he's now trying to turn the fullback around, and Simmons has to have a second grab at it before being tackled 15 metres away from his line.
Interesting to see what the Dragons do here. They had a 12-point lead at half-time. That's been reduced in the first couple of minutes of the second half. They've had a fairly simple game plan tonight. Run from dummy half, hit it up, one out. Just allow the Newcastle side to try and wear themselves out. If they try to protect this 8-point lead, I think the Knights will come and get them. They've got to play some attacking football of their own.
This is Young, Perry and Badiris and Woolnough involved in the tackle. A tackle that was dominant. Now Pongia runs into Badiris and also Newton. They go to the right, and Furman puts it to the right foot. It goes down deep and then lands on its point and sits up for Adam McDougall, and the crowd brings it back with him. McDougall, he hasn't had the happiest of comebacks tonight, and the crowd are with him and they're giving him all the encouragement. This is Quinn.
Yeah, that was a great run. That's the McDougall of old. Just put your head down, 1,000 miles an hour into him.
Tahu played it, and Badiris uses his blindside runners. He's got Abraham tackled there by Kite, and here's Badiris again, going himself from dummy half. He's got Kennedy with him. Kennedy draws and passes. McDougall scores. Welcome back, Adam. Badiris at his brilliant best. He worked the blindside twice. Kennedy got involved, and he held it to make the passageway possible for McDougall.
That's the beauty of Danny Badiris. When the younger hooker Quigley was on the field, he constantly kept going to Johns. Johns dominated him. But now that Badiris is on there, he's prepared to play away from Andrew Johns. He's prepared to use Andrew Johns as a decoy.
And McDougall, he just juggled there nervously before putting it over the line. Here's the kick, coming in, and it is there. Wonderful kick from Johns from the sideline. It is 18-16, St George Illawarra over Newcastle. Welcome back as Riddell opens up this next segment of the game. One that is already turned around dramatically in what, just 7 minutes of the second half. They've been over there twice now, the Knights, answering the call. The crowd almost begging for a victory tonight. Abraham.
But it's going to open this game up, Ray. Now the Dragons know they have to score again. With a 12-point lead or an 8-point lead, they're in two minds. Now they're not. Here they go again.
McDougall, he beats Kite. He draws the full back. He has sent Mark Hughes away, and Hughes goes away to score the try. 3 tries to the Knights in almost 3 minutes of football. This has been a tremendous start. A tremendous start to the second half.
This is incredible. What's happened to the Dragons? Their right side defence has just fallen apart. Danny Baderas, too smart for him. Look at that, just looking at the player Kite, drawing him in. Kennedy the same, and then McDougall away, had the speed to get away from Kite. And then, well, where the support, there's 100 of them coming, including Baderas, but Mark Hughes was the man, and he strode away.
First try of the year for Mark Hughes, Paul.
And now puts the Knights in front.
So the restart. And here's Woolno with a spring in the step. Bringing it back, 15 from his line. Well, the Dragons, they would be shell-shocked at this opening 8 minutes of the second half. And you heard it from Andrew Voss. Michael Hagan said, I'll tell you the difference, boys. You've been playing touch football. Oh dear, oh dear. We have a knee problem for Clint Newton. Danny Baderas pointing at it, pointing at the problem. Clint Newton's face is one of agony.
Matchday sponsor here at
It looks very serious, doesn't it?
Yeah, the players in the close vicinity you always know best. They're out there, and he's fallen awkwardly. Lance Thompson trying in for a low tackle, catches him awkwardly. We see this fair bit of this in rugby league, unfortunately. And this young man will be in agony out there. The stretcher coming out for him. Even opposition teammates concerned. They all know.
As we bring you back from the break, young Clint Newton carried from the field. And reminding you that Newcastle have reached the lead in this one now, 22-18. Clint looking quizzically down at that knee, wondering just what damage is done on the inside. Newcastle with Perry now. The point being that I was making going to the break. I mean, you can do a knee without necessarily being played or playing the game on a sandy field like Suncorp. Andrew, as we follow this kick down the ground, the bounce is awkward. Newcastle are coming after it, but St George have got the ball. Andrew Voss.
Yeah, look, I don't want to alarm the friends and family of Clint Newton watching, but I do have to pass on the report from the doctor who just walked past us, and we asked, it said a fracture and a dislocation for Clint Newton in the ankle. So nothing but bad news, but I mean, a thumbs up from Clint. He's putting on a brave face, but it's the worst of ankle injuries he could possibly suffer.
Riddell. His mum and dad, they, to the best of my knowledge, they're at every game. They follow him everywhere to watch him play. They'd be very upset, obviously. Any parents would be, but these two are very close to the game. As Riddell punches it down, it'll go over the dead ball line. Phil.
Yeah, in the context of the game too, it just cost Newcastle another interchange they weren't banking on. Still more than, well, just on 30 minutes left in this contest. They've got some tired players out there backing up, and they haven't got many interchanges left. I think they've used 7. They've got 5 to go. Yeah, 5 to go in the last 30 minutes. That's not a lot. And the Dragons, well, they've only used 5. They've got 7 to go in the last 30 minutes. Will that be a telling factor?
That young bloke that just came on, Andrew Price, he had an awful game about a month ago, and I think I was the one that made the point that he was having a forgettable game. He's a good kid. He's got potential. That's him with the ball now. He won't let them down, Andrew Price. As it goes on that blindside play again to Kennedy, and of course waiting in line with his hand in the air is McDougall. Abraham thinking this is not a bad place to be. They've got 2 tries down here. Rudder. Almost on halfway. He's lost the ball. Baderas has got it. Hampstead just looked at his touch man before making the decision, but he's ruled that a scrum will go down.
Ben Kennedy really doing it tough at the moment. He spent 30 seconds with hands on hips on his haunches.
Grab yourself a great tasting
the 2 games in the 48 hours really taking its toll on some of the players out there.
I was talking to Ben at the airport on Wednesday, and I said to him, "Are you going to play?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. Not a good thing." And courageously is getting through it, as is Riles, as is Bailey, and the others. And that game must have been just so draining for them.
I was talking to Sean Timmins at half-time. He said Jason Giles made a decision to play at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Hornby it was who played the ball. Cross and offload. Finally there to the 17 for the Dragons, Perinara. Now Riles. Then from Riddell. Now for Furman. And there's the ball bouncing across a couple of times for Thompson. Still able to get it away. That's been deflected now to knock on. And charging back with the ball is Anthony Quinn.
Gee, that was good skill there from Lance Thompson. He picked that ball off his toenails. It was a terrible pass down at his feet. He picked it up, got to the line, and still got a flick pass out the back. It was going to be very, very dangerous there for the Knights. Unfortunately, they couldn't get a handle on it, spilled the ball, and they just start to look a little bit tired now, the Knights. Watch his pickup. Bang, off the toenails, through the line, flick pass on the outside. Great skill there.
Johns, tackled by Perinara. Apart from scoring a try earlier, Andrew, that I think is only the third time in the game that he's actually hit the ground. Now from Kurt Gidley, it's been rifled across for young Price, and he runs straight at Hornby. 22-18, 13 minutes, second half gone. Kurt Gidley's pass is a bad pass by Daniel Abraham. He picks it up magnificently. Then it's come off the feet. I think it's play on for Mark Hughes. And it is. 19 out from the line. They go to the blindside play again. Here's McDougall coming back in, offloading the ball for Badeiros to go inside the 10-metre line. Gets it away now for Kurt Gidley. 5 tackles has been indicated. It's with Johns. He scoops it off the ground. It's gone to Matt Gidley. It's gone to Tamana Tahu. Off the right foot, down, up again. Looks at them again. Takes them on again. Ball goes to a St George player. They won't catch Cooper. Cooper's on his way for his second try. It's going to be 75 metres, and Matt Cooper, after Newcastle threw all the bullets, all the grenades at them, St George Illawarra score.
Have we seen a turning point in this game? The Knights look certain to score down the left-hand side of the field. Beautiful pick up here by Abraham, who scribbles out of the tackle. He had players on support inside and out. Gets it back inside to Gidley. Gidley gets it back. It was play on off the legs of Hughes. He did well not to knock it on. And then on the tackle 5, there seemed like there was 100 passes before Tahu found space on the right-hand side of the field. Gidley gets a long, slow pass to him. He was always going to have to step back inside. He beats one, he slips, he gets up. He knows it's tackle 5. He's got to keep it alive and eventually gets a pass away to Cooper. And the heads go down for the Knights as he streaks away. And what looked like being 6 for the Knights is now 6 for the Dragons.
Riddell from 12 metres out right in front. Phil is right. It'll be almost certainly converted. The scoreboard attendant had the 6 in his hand to put up against Newcastle. Walked to the other side of the scoreboard. And they rejoice, the Dragons, people. 56 minute, 24-22, St George Illawarra leading, Andrew. And back from our break on the 9 Network. And it is Price who plays the ball. Then it's Rudder. About 35 out from his own line. Here's McDougall. Check on the welfare there of young Furman. And he's heading up the tunnel. Andrew, will come to you on the end of this play. Johns looking to unload. The ball on the ground, kicked by Newcastle. Okay, Wales is with the ball now. Just for a moment I thought he was going to be able to get rid of that ball, Jason. Riddell for John Cross, and the Knights muscle up. Nobody more than Johns. Daniel Abraham in the tackle. Riddell for Byrne for Blacklock. Blacklock, the scorer of 2 first half tries. 24-22. As it comes away now from Perinara. And it's gone to Wilshire. Cooper's looking for 3. He's pulled down 9 away. 5th tackle and a chance for the Dragons. Wilshire for Byrne. There's a nice little kick through, and was it cleaned up? This could well be a try for St George Illawarra. I don't know that the Knights player has force this football.
And the player is Sean Rudder, according to the referee. He said, can you check to see if Sean Rudder grounded the football? Jason Riles might have scored a try here, the big fellow. Tailing through this kick. He's onside, that's okay. And it goes under the post. It gets a bad bounce, Rudder. Doesn't look like he's grounded it there. And Riles comes in late. They all jumped over the top of it.
Well, I don't know.
He's
come down with downward pressure. And it's almost on the side of his body. Graham West. He thinks it's a try as well. Graham West has awarded Jason Riles a try. 28-22, kick to come.
Totally against the run of play. This is how the Dragons have played all night. They've hung on and hung on and hung on. And every time they've come down into the quarter, they've grafted themselves into position for a fifth tackle option. And 3 times now, they've come up with points.
It's been a great effort by the Dragons. Riles goes up, you beauty. They've had no quality possession down this end of the field. The times they've had it, they've made the most of it. And is that the match-winning try for them? They go now to an 8-point lead.
Riddell gets the simplest of conversions. Jason Riles awarded a try. A match that's been high on sensationalism, hasn't it? Riddell adds a further 2. So the buffer is there for Nathan Brown's team. 30 points to 22, Andrew.
I can tell you about the video referee too, Graham West, tonight. Ray, it actually had quite an eventful afternoon. He only got here half an hour before kickoff. He was held up in traffic on the F3. I don't know what the alternative was if the video referee doesn't turn up. Look, but it doesn't hide the fact. Look at that scoreboard. They've conceded 30 points again tonight, the Newcastle Knights. Only 3 times this year have they conceded less than 20 points in a game.
Well, this has been a good trick by Newcastle. Come up with the football. And there are 12.5 minutes of this game to go.
Yeah, it's a long time, and they're not dead yet.
Johns, long pass, battered by Gidley. Taken in by Tahu. Tahu goes back towards the 20-metre line. He will play the ball, playing it back to Badiris. Now Woolno. And the Knights trailing by 8. These opportunities won't come often in the final 12 minutes. Kurt Gidley plays it. Rubber runs it. They don't go near him. They stand off him. And the Knights are still with the football, and they're still with a chance. That's Perry. 5th tackle there now for the blue and red. Johns, batted on by Kennedy. McDougall gets number 2. Adam McDougall has levelled up his personal confrontation with Nathan Blacklock. Michael Hagan looks at the clock, 11 to go, and this is coming down again to a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, you're never dead without this man. You're never dead with this man in your side. Firstly, from the kickoff, perfectly placed to get the ball back for his team. Then within 5 tackles, he senses they're short again on the left-hand side of the field. The ball that gets outside the defence, McDougall gets his second, and the Knights are back into it within a moment. Just when you thought it was over, back they come.
Yeah, the trick is to have a lot of runners out there. Give Johns plenty of opportunity to hit 3, 4, 5 players. He hits the right one. Try time.
Johns, there it goes. It's down. The flags are down. Michael Hagan looks surprised. Andrew, 4-point ball game.
Look at this. Down they come, the Knights. Finding touch on halfway. Set of 6.
18,000 here to watch them try to dig out of the grave. Kennedy is with it. 2 metres from halfway. Played back for Kurt Gidley. Down that side they go again, and Abraham is bent over. Plays it back for Badiris. Kennedy runs short side for a decoy run. Perry takes the play open side. 40-metre line.
Johns wide to the right, second receiver.
3rd play is down. It's come away for Kurt Gidley. He runs with the ball out in front of him, keeping them guessing. He's picked up and put away. 33 metres out, 4 tackles down. Now Johns puts on a sprint and tries to call Rudder on the inside. Rudder is tackled though. 5 tackles gone for the Knights. Now Johns, he goes to the air, to the centre of the ground. The contest is on. There's the ball. The Knights have got the ball over the line, but was there a knock on? Was there a knock-on? This is going to make interesting viewing. It may have come off some feet or some knees.
Well, the first thing he wants to check is the offside. That's the first thing. He said, then check the contact with the player, then check if there's a knock-on, then check the grounding. Is there anything else? Now, is the player inside? I haven't got Maduga, I can't circle him. There's a player offside. There's probably 2 or 3 right up the centre there. And if they get involved, if they're within 10 metres of this player attempting to catch the football, and they are, then this will be no try.
Josh Perry's the man, the number 8. He was definitely in front of the kicker. He's well inside the 10. Players inside the 10 not taking any part. It's no try, it's a penalty. He got it right, Graham West. If, in fact, the way they've been getting the sack for the same offence has been reiterated here tonight. And it has. I'm trying to think of the more famous of them, the Carlaw incident for the Broncos, the Andrew Ryan incident for the Dogs.
I think you've got 2 of the best. One famous.
No need to agree with me, but I mean, sooner or later, one of them had to get it right. Michael Hagan and his assistant coach, tissues all round. You would think they would get home. No, they've lost the ball. They're not beaten yet, the Knights. Banderas runs across the park like a 2-year-old. Gets it away for Abraham. Daniel will play the ball. 30 metres away from the line. From Kurt Gidley to Andrew Johns to Ben Kennedy. Then it's away for Rudder. Knocked down by the Dragons. That'll be 6 more. Again with Rudder and again with Gidley. Matthew Gidley gets the ball back for Andrew Johns. John steps off his left foot. He goes inside the 10-metre line. What a magnificent finish this is coming up to. Played by Johns and Banderas gives it. Kurt Gidley, a long pass to McDougall.
Yes!
McDougall scores. McDougall gets try number 3. This is phenomenal. We could be heading for Golden Point.
Oh, it doesn't get any better, does it?
30 points all, Paddy.
We've seen those 2 people cheering all night. They embraced. It's 30 all. They cuddled each other. And what a game it's been. You've got to feel for the Dragons players and for Lance Thompson. He's had a big game, Lance Thompson. The ball raked out there, but it was 1-on-1. 36 tackles for Thompson tonight. Then they had chances all over the place. Once again there, the ball knocked down, but cool heads prevailed. They knew they had a couple of tackles up their sleeve. How is this for a pass? That one from Kurt Gidley. Money ball. McDougall, big game for him tonight in his comeback. And he gets the try that makes it 30 all. It's down to a kick.
Johns from 22 out on the eastern side. Leave him alone. He'll be all right. Here's the line, and here's the man. Full time is here. Johns, it's coming around. It's coming back. He's going to get it. Yes! Andrew Johns has kicked it. What a phenomenal finish. What a miraculous event. What a wonderful sporting moment. 32-30. The Knights have won. This is just incredible. What a week of rugby league we've had.
Oh, rugby league. Is it the greatest game of all or what? It is fantastic.
Turn your attention now to the big screen.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports in partnership with the National Rugby League.